Hello everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mackenzie, better known as Persia, depending on where you know me or how you know me, you little freaks. But today I got on here to discuss my top 5 most helpful tips in getting your online sex working career off the ground and started properly. Now, when I was looking up this topic, I didn't find a whole lot of information just readily available especially from credible sources. And now I'm not like the most credible person, but I have made quite a little name for myself since I started my sex work career. Let's talk about how I started real quick. I did start exotic dancing whenever I turned 18 years old, and about 6 to 8 months after that, I moved to Atlanta. And whenever I was in Atlanta, I grew a huge social media following. It was then that I got a ton of recommendations from people telling me that I should start a certain website that had a monthly subscription fee for me to post content on. And I did start doing that, and I still was dancing a little bit while I was starting it. And then eventually, once I started doing live camming and such, I really was pulled away from the dancing because, man, there's nothing like not having to grind on guys and be potentially sexually assaulted, as well as, just guys trying to take you home, guys potentially following you home, or just becoming weird. It's a little bit too personal in the club. And while I was a people person, I did enjoy it. It definitely was easier to do the online thing. And that's where I started putting my focus into. I spent probably about 2.5 years dancing in Atlanta before I completely converted to the online aspect of my work. And that is where I started in 2018. I started on a very popular website. And just to give you guys some kind of credibility behind the information that I'm about to give you, I will show you right here. In 2018, my first year, I made $33,000. Now that's not a small amount of money, but it is also not that impressive when it comes to online sex work. Let's just be honest. And eventually I got better and better every year. And I will say that my best year to date has been my COVID year. Hopefully that's not true for too much longer, but my best year was during COVID. I made $122,000. Gosh, it's like I look at those numbers sometimes and I'm just in awe. Like, did I really make that much money? That is crazy. Where did the money go? Huh? Where does the money? If only I knew then what I knew now, right? But with that being said, let's jump right into it. I want to talk about whenever you start your online sex working career, you kind of want to determine what do you want your business to be recognized as. You have 3 options for an online sex worker. There are more options. They just don't make any sense for this, okay? LLC, sole proprietor, or an escorp. Now, once you figure out, I will get into the tax benefits or lack thereof for each of those in just a moment. But after you determine which one you want to be, you need to get your EIN. Once you got your EIN, you want to take that to the Secretary of State wherever you live and register your business as a business in that state. Now, after that, you can it depends on which one you choose that determines the steps you have to take from there. I would recommend this, but it is totally not needed. But you could get a domain name, and I think it just looks more professional if you have like your name or your tagline or something that just represents you, that people can type it to their browser anytime they want to see what the heck you've got going on. It makes you look like you're serious about your business, but it's totally not a necessity. That's just my personal opinion. Now I want to get into the tax aspect of those 3 business options that I just mentioned. Now let's get our facts straight. A single member LLC defaults to sole proprietorship, which means that they go on your personal tax return on a Schedule C. You list your gross receipts and sales or your 1099 earnings, and then you put your expenses, and it calculates how much self-employment tax you must pay. Now, an S corp does avoid self-employment tax because you will be paying yourself a paycheck from your business, and in turn you will receive a W-2 at the end of the year, just like any other regular employee. Now, this is where I will say that an S corp may not benefit you until you hit that $60,000 to $80,000 range. I recommend an S corp to anybody who's making over $80,000 because it just kind of does the hard work for you. You don't have to figure how many estimated tax payments you're going to make during the year. You don't have to figure how much tax you're going to have to pay at the end of the year because your business takes care of all of that for you. All right. Now, a lot of you guys might not know because this is a new venture of mine, but I am a tax preparer. I'm a fourth generation tax preparer, and I work in the office with my grandmother, who is the literal tax guru. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll make sure they get answered. Now, moving on, because even though it is my job, taxes and I are like oil and water, okay? We're still trying to figure this relationship out. All right, next let's talk setup and having a specified area for your work. Let's call it an office. Take a look at my office. This is my office here. It's regular. It's a bed. It's a bed. It doesn't need to be special. It just needs to be comfortable for you. It can be a chair and a desk. It can be a bed. The floor is not really comfortable, but to each their own. Just make sure you have a space set up for you. Another thing I'd recommend is a ring light, a large ring light. Let me specify, because that little ring light back there, that thing wasn't doing nothing for me, okay? Doesn't produce enough light, and trust me, you'd rather have it than not. I do think that a laptop is essential eventually, though, because once you get started live streaming and live camming, you will be able to stream on multiple different platforms at the same time, thus increasing your revenue. And you just want to use all the resources available to you. You know, sign up for every daggone site you've ever heard of, because it's just going to create more money for you. And that sort of brings me to my next topic, which is social media sites and the online sex working sites themselves. Social media, you need to be on every social media available to you because you need to generate link clicks. Turn on your business mode on your profile or whatever so you can see insights, because the only insight that matters is that that link is getting clicked. That link is the source to all of your money. You need people to click that link. So do whatever you got to do, but play it safe. What we can get into social media is a whole nother topic. I could go on for days because you guys know they do not like to let me live on social media. Anyways, sex working sites. Do not limit yourself to one or two sites, whether it's a monthly subscription site or a live webcamming site. You need to be on all of them. Don't stop at one or two. Maybe don't even stop at 9 or 10, but that is a lot to maintain. So kind of start with whatever you can handle, but increase as you go because it will increase your revenue. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about relationships. Family and friend relationships. Now, this may not be exactly a tip that you were looking for, but it is something that needs to be talked about because it is very much relevant. Now, sex work is not as taboo as it is today as it was whenever I first started, but starting your sex working career could definitely hinder some of the relationships you have with your family and friends, depending on the kind of people they are. Now, it would be great if you had nice, supportive people surrounding you that you didn't have to keep it a secret from. But if you have to keep it a secret, then you have to realize that one day these people might find out, and one day these people might have something to say. And that is where you just have to come to the terms with the fact that they don't pay your bills. And I really think what it is, and this is just a theory, but I feel like other people have these moral codes for themselves that they place upon other people because they want other people to have the same thing. But you know, morality is kind of subjective, you know what I mean? So you just have to realize that those people are not paying your bills. And when it comes to people on the internet, oh baby, are they going to talk? I've learned my lesson. I used to respond and get into arguments with people on Instagram and post it in my story for more validation about my, for my side of the story. Don't even respond. My favorite thing to do these days, boy, I just block them. Just block them. Don't even respond to them. Don't even give them satisfaction. They don't deserve it. Okay, now y'all, I did write a list of these topics in my notes, but I have just kind of been winging this thing, and I feel like I haven't gotten a chance to really talk about all of the things that I wanted to talk about, but that's okay. It just leaves me room to do another video, and I know you guys are going to have some questions and comments. If you have anything you want me to touch on, please leave a comment below, like and subscribe. You already know the drill. This has been great. I did enjoy talking to you guys, even though it took me like 50 takes. I really hope that we get to chat soon. Bye, guys.